Well, hello and welcome to Party of Two Cruising. I'm Patrick. I'm going to bring you a little special treat today. I'm going to bring you a blast from the past. Have you ever been on the Carnival Inspiration? As you know, in 2020, the Carnival Inspiration was scrapped in Aliaga shipyard in Turkey. And I'm going to show you some video of it back in 2009. And then I'll point out some features that did get changed when the ship left Tampa and went to Long Beach, and then the Paradise was brought over here into Tampa, which I think we got the better deal out of that. And I will explain some of the stuff during the video that did change on the ship. And stay tuned because I want to point out one of the most ugliest things on that ship. And I'll get to that probably about 3/4 of the way through the video. So sit back, relax, and stay tuned. Alright, as you can see here, the Carnival Inspiration doesn't have the extra balconies. It did not ever get the grand deck added to it. It looked just like it does right here in this video when it was scrapped. They did change the inside, gave it all the Carnival 0.20 upgrades, but as far as the outside of the ship goes, the only balconies were the suites and up on the veranda deck. So it pretty much stayed the same before it headed off to California. Alright, this is a porthole room, and as you can see on the video here, it is identical to the Paradise, and they still look like this today. The only thing they did differently is they took the chairs out of the rooms, which gives you a little bit more room, but the rooms still look as they did back in 2009 when we were on the ship. Alright, as you can see here, the hallways are pretty much the same. We were in cabin E1. Our kids were back down here in E16, I believe it was. And the hallways, if you were on any of the Fantasy class ships, all look identical. Well, this is the lobby area and where you board the ship. Now, not a lot changes in a lot of years for some reason, but this is the same identical ATMs that they still use today. There's usually one in the lobby, and one up by the casino, and one sometimes by the stairs that go up to the Lido deck. Now this right here is the Internet Cafe. This is no longer on the ships, on the Paradise. And this was about the only place you could go to get on the computers back then, because they weren't able to get on your cell phones like you are today. Now also, right here, look at these cigarettes up here at the top shelf right there. Look at those big boxes of cigarettes. You really don't see that anymore. And if you've noticed lately on the ships, they're not selling as many brands of cigarettes as they used to do back in 2009. Alright, now look at the price also. It looks like 2 cartons for $52, which comes out to be about $2.60 for a pack of cigarettes. Now they're almost $9 a pack. Now, not sure how many of you remember this, but they used to have art pretty much throughout the ship, not just in the art gallery, and it was for sale. And you didn't buy it off the wall, but you ordered one that was identical to it. Now you're coming into the pixels area where all your photos are at, and there was only one way to get your pictures back then in 2009 was to find them in that sea of pictures that you see. And now you get your option. On the Paradise you can do it either facial recognition, or you can look through the pictures and find some of your own in there. Now back in 2009, Formalities was basically a place you could actually rent a tuxedo to wear to formal night. They were a little bit more formal than they are nowadays. People still wear just a dress shirt and pants. But back then people dressed up more, and you actually could rent shoes and tuxes and all that kind of stuff to wear to dinner. And I know that firsthand because I forgot my suit bag, left it on the couch one day, and had to rent one, and it wasn't a bad price. It was $99 for a whole week. Now getting into one of my favorite spots, the casino, notice the machines. And even after I turn back the video back on, you'll notice that most of the machines are all mechanical wheels, and there's hardly any digital machines in that casino. The machines, when they took the inspiration in, all the older machines, all they did was break out the glass, tear out some of the insides of the machines, and pretty much left them on the ship to be scrapped.
Surfing the web. Surf's out. It started on Monday. Customers in the Middle East, Europe, and Africa, South America. We'll be back downstairs for
Alright, these statues that sit back by the rear bar, which is right by the aft lounge, were there, and I saw people doing weird things to these statues, and they actually are still on the ship as it was being scrapped. Alright, what I want you to do is I want you to pay close attention to the pipes that you see just above this gentleman's head and everything that run through the entire buffet area. This had to be the most butt ugly area I had ever seen on a cruise ship. And they ended up taking these out and getting rid of it, and it actually looked pretty nice after they did this, after it went to California. Alright, now what I want you to do is figure out, what is that? Right there where the arrow is, what is that? No, not the plate or the carton of milk, but what they're sitting on. Yes, back then you still had the old trays that they actually got rid of, and because they said that they couldn't keep them clean enough, so they ended up getting rid of them. So you had to carry your plates, which makes it a little bit harder. And the trays were actually pretty nice to get your stuff to your table. Alright, so if I was to wake up tomorrow as we get on to the Paradise tomorrow, walk down to Serenity, and I was really on this ship, I would still believe that I was on the Paradise, or vice versa. The Serenity decks are still remain identical. Alright, now when we started cruising on the Inspiration, this slide area was not back here. This was actually just an open deck. The only thing that was actually on it was a basketball hoop and a few chairs. Other than that, it was just a wide open deck. Looked like the top of the grand deck on the Paradise, as wide open as that is. The only thing that was back here was a basketball hoop, and then the slide was just a little small slide that actually was on the pool midship at the Lido deck. All right, this was City Sports Park. This is where the putt-putt golf was at. The track, which is a nice wide track, even wider than the Mardi Gras. And it was actually padded. It was made out of a cork substance or a rubber. And it's also on the elation as well. And they have since been removed. And this is now the Grand Deck with more cabins. And then on top of that Grand Deck is just an open deck with a bunch of chairs, as in a sun deck. So this is no longer available on these ships. And but it was scrapped looking just like this.
Deck 10. Leo.
All right, here you see your main theater. Your main theater, I'm not sure on the Inspiration. I don't quite remember that, but the first time we went on the Glory and a couple of the other ships, they actually had an orchestra pit that came up from the in front of the stage, and they played their own music. Now, the line of sight in here is pretty bad if you get off to the sides because of the poles. That's one good thing about the Mardi Gras that they fixed on those ships, is there is no line of sight problems. All right, well, I hope you enjoyed your little blast from the past on the Carnival Inspiration. That is no longer. And I'm going to put a link in the description below of another YouTuber that actually is in Aliaga shipyard in Turkey, and he is going to take you for a tour. He'll do a drone flight over the ship and show you the destruction that's already taken place on it. And then he's going to take you for about 14 total minutes. And he's going to take you inside the ship and basically show you a lot of the stuff that I did. And trust me, his video was much clearer than mine was in here. Mine was kind of dark, but it's actually worth the thing. But it's going to kind of make you kind of sad because you hate to see these ships getting destroyed. And then when he takes you back to the dining room, you'll see how they got rid of all the pipes back there and cleaned that ship up actually quite a bit. I personally think that the ship had a few more years left in it, but they hadn't upgraded it. They didn't put the new balconies on or the Grand Deck yet, so I guess it was worth it for them just to go ahead and rather than spend more money to get rid of it. Again, thank you for watching. Please do me a favor, hit that subscribe button. We're getting there. We're up to 890, and if you like what I'm doing, give me the thumbs up. And if you kind of like the blast from the past on the Inspiration, I have some on the Glory as well from back in 2004 before the 2.0 upgrades. So if you liked it, let me know in the comments, and I will throw one of those together as well. And you have a great day, and we'll see you when we get back from the Paradise. We board tomorrow, and you'll get something from there, I'm sure. Thank you again for watching.